Well, Zach, we're done with Fallout London, by which I mean we completed the first 2 of 3 acts. We got Act 1 and Act 2 just done, and we're not gonna do Act 3 just yet. I might do Act 3 on my own a bit later, but had a long time spent in it. How do you feel about it?
Allow me to quote another great British program. Ambitious but rubbish.
Wow. Harsh.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I really wanted to say that. I thought it was good. I enjoyed playing it, but I'm ready to play other stuff.
Right.
now.
It is very sizable, a very large mod.
It's a really big mod. I respect the size of the look at the absolute size of this chonker.
Mm-hmm.
He's an absolute unit. I respect that, and I feel like they did a lot of really cool stuff with this.
Absolutely. The sheer amount of new assets is kind of mind-boggling. Everywhere you go, there's some new stuff to see, new things to look at, new creatures, new armor, new weapons, new clothing, new furniture, new textures, just landmarks everywhere. It's incredible just how much new stuff was added here.
Yeah, they did a very, very good job on all of this stuff. I'm really impressed with it, honestly. I'm trying to think of a polite way to say this. I'm impressed with it. I respect it. I just don't want to play it anymore.
That's fair. Absolutely.
There's not. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not like the problems I had with the Frontier, which is like the NCR campaign is crap, and I hate it.
Yeah, this is very impressive, not just for the sheer amount of new stuff that's in this mod, but also the fact that they finally made. It's finally a fully feature-complete, fan-made Fallout mod. Basically, a new Fallout game created by fans that doesn't have any glaringly obvious flaws. Like Fallout, the Frontier had the terrible NCR campaign, and Fallout New California, it was undercooked. It was a little half finished, but this is the first full Fallout game mod. It blurs the line between mod and game at this point. It's feature complete. Talking about the size of the mod, yeah, it was a very, very big mod. I feel like we've been playing it for months, and there's still like entire regions of the map that we haven't checked out. And we haven't even scratched the surface of them. They're just unexplored areas of the map we haven't been able to check out because there's just so much of it.
I do really respect and appreciate the size of the map. One of the nitpicks I have about it is the like boroughs, I guess. Is that what they're called?
Like different neighborhoods?
Yeah, like the different neighborhoods. I wonder if there would have been a way to make it so that it was just seamless going from London into Westminster, right, or any of the other areas.
For people that don't understand because they haven't played this game for themselves and played it deep into the game, the world map is kind of broken up into the world map and then like other world maps around it. So if you want to go from one side of the world to the other side of the world, you have to go through transition zones. Like the entire thing isn't one big package, it's several regions kind of stitched together.
So yeah, you have to go through loading zones to get from one area to another. And technically, no, you don't need to go through multiple fast travel spots. Like if you wanted to go from, say, the middle of London to Westminster, which the only reason I'm thinking Westminster, I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm sorry. If you want to go from that one to another one, it's going to require you to go through at least one loading screen to get into Westminster. But then if you want to get to somewhere else in Westminster, the fastest way is going to be fast traveling there, which means you're going to have to go through another loading screen. So, right, unfortunately...
Sometimes you have to fast travel to Westminster and then fast travel to a different location in Westminster.
And then sometimes you end up going through a door, which means now you go through another loading screen. So you do kind of end up starfielding it, where you go through like 6 loading screens to get to an area that you need to get into.
Yeah, we were talking about that amongst
which
ourselves.
Is a little annoying. Obviously, they did it like that for a reason. It probably saved on loading times or something.
I don't know.
To have them be multiple areas.
Or maybe it was easier for development. After all, it's a fan-made project, so maybe different people were working on different regions. I don't know.
Yeah. I wish they could have kind of fixed the melee combat, but it's like this is built in Fallout 4, which is not built for melee combat.
To take a step back, I do feel like perhaps my biggest criticism of this mod stems from the fact that it is a Fallout 4 mod, and the issues that I have with Fallout 4 just by design carry over into the mod. Like, there's no way to avoid those. So you bring up melee combat. Yeah, it's not that great and it's not that improved here, but there are other problems with Fallout 4 that I have that just aren't significantly improved. The lighting, for example, like the lighting in Fallout 4 is not great, and so you come into London and it's also still not great.
Yeah.
And also kind of drab. I think they really leaned in a bit too heavily to the this idea that London is rainy and gray. If Fallout 3 is green and Fallout New Vegas is brown, then Fallout London is gray. It was nice to go to the underground neon bunker where there were a bunch of fluorescent lights and flashing lights because it was a nice change of pace.
I appreciate that there seems to be more RPG elements
Yes.
in this game than there are in Fallout 4. Having said that, that's not a very high bar to clear.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 is not a role-playing game.
Mhm.
It is a choose-your-own-adventure where there are exactly 2 endings. And I like that there seem to be more, but I would have appreciated if they could have made more RPG elements to it, but you can only work within the limitations of the engine.
Sure. It does feel like there are more RPG elements than Fallout 4, but still less than Fallout New Vegas. I think the quest design was improved. Quest design is always my biggest thing, and I liked how there were optional objectives, but it also did feel like the majority of the quest just had one way to resolve with maybe an optional secondary objective if you wanted to go for that.
Yeah. Like, for example, where one of the last quests we did, where you had to get all the signatures to get into Parliament, I wish that there had been a different way that you could have done that. Like, you can just sneak in, and maybe that's like an incredibly combat-focused or an incredibly stealth-focused way that you can get in there, where if you don't have enough points in stealth, you're gonna have a real hard time getting through there. Or if you don't have enough points in stealth, but you're just an absolute tank and you carry 1,000,000 guns, then yeah, you can get through there. I don't like that the way they presented that quest is get all of these signatures or have a forger do it, but then you still have to go get examples of their writing.
The bottom line for that quest is you either go to these different regions and get the signatures, or you forge the signatures. Either way, you still have to get signatures.
You still have to go to all the different regions anyway.
And that's the thing, that with the game being as big as it is, they want you to go to all these different regions and check out all the hard work they've done. But there's just so many regions and so many cool things they've added.
I understand why they did that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to go to every single region, and that's a me complaint. I'm just saying, like, I don't particularly care for it.
This mod is very big, and if you liked Fallout 4, you're gonna like Fallout London. Your opinions on this mod will likely mirror your opinion on Fallout 4. If you love Fallout 4, then you're gonna get a lot of enjoyment out of Fallout London. But if you didn't much care for Fallout 4, then you're gonna burn out on this. We've enjoyed our time with it, but it's hard to trudge through to the end because there's just so much of it.
The point we got to, I was starting to call a lot of the stuff that was happening, which is frustrating for me personally, when it's like, oh, now is the point when I get knocked unconscious and I lose all my stuff. Oh, now is the point when he does like a false flag terrorist attack so that he can get more power. Like I knew that was gonna happen before the game had even like. When we went and talked to Mr. X and he said, oh, he's never shown his face in public before, but I looked into it and he's definitely doing it this time. It's just like, yeah, okay. I'm sure that this is exactly what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
I get frustrated when story stuff like that happens. I get really frustrated when I'm watching a movie or playing a video game and I can just accurately predict what is going to be happening.
And part of that is just because you're so well read. I wasn't able to call things like you are just because I haven't experienced those tropes enough, I guess.
I understand why like the Vagabonds are the first faction that you meet in game, and I feel like I get what they were trying to do. What's a Gaunt? Is that his name?
Yeah. Gaunt. Yeah.
I feel like I think I know what they were trying to do with Gaunt. But I really don't like how literally every single thing that you or anybody else presents to him, he's just like, no, it's a shit idea and you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, some of the characters are a bit abrasive.
You do the thing, and he's like, well, it was a shit idea, but it worked out, so it was my idea, and that makes it a good idea. And like, that was really frustrating. I feel like they were setting up you have to choose who will be the new leader of the Vagabonds.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
I don't think we really got far enough with any specific faction for this to happen, but I appreciate that never once was the game like, now you're the leader of the Vagabonds. Now you're the leader of this organization. Now you're the leader of this organization. Because like that really rubs me the wrong way in Fallout 4. So I'm glad that they didn't do that in this.
Speaking of factions, I feel like maybe there may have been too many factions, because you had the Vanguards, or the
Vagabonds.
The Vagabonds, the Roundels, the Gentry, the underground neon people. There's like the angels, the fifth column, and I honestly like there's like
I couldn't keep track.
There's at least 24, and I lost track myself.
Yeah, I couldn't keep track, and then we hadn't even found all of them yet.
Yeah, like
because we had never interacted with the fifth column. We'd never interacted with Camelot. We'd
Angels.
Never. There was a whole nother faction of the
Isle of Dogs.
We didn't. Well, they were just kind of like
they're just kind of generic enemies. Yeah, they set it up like you're gonna have to choose between the Isle of Dogs or the Vagabonds. But I feel like we just everyone's gonna default to the Vagabonds because that's the faction you meet. But I don't even think that's the choice you make. I think the Isle of Dogs are just kind of like generic raiders.
Yeah, I think they were just kind of generic bad guys that you couldn't really join them. Like I said, I appreciate the size of this mod and how much they managed to put into it. I think I would have liked it better if it had been just condensed down and edited slightly more. And again, like nobody's gonna complain about more content being added for free. But for me, it got slightly frustrating when it's like, go to this new area so that you can continue trying to find Smythe or whatever. You need to go to this area to find the MacGuffin so that you can figure out where Smythe is.
Right.
You go to that area, and as soon as you step foot in that area, there are now 2 factions that are talking to you. That now I have to learn about these 2 new factions. And also, I can't get the MacGuffin until I do stuff for these factions because they won't let me into the bunker where the MacGuffin is or whatever.
That's kind of a knock against the writing where the main focus of our mission hadn't really changed over the course of the year that we played the game. We started off wanting to find Smythe, and then here we are a year later, still trying to find Smythe every time we get close. He escapes, oh that rascal. There couldn't ever be any progress in the narrative.
Yeah. I don't know how long it takes to beat this game.
I suppose that would depend on how strongly you're beelining through the main quest, because we've seen that there's quite a lot of side content in this mod/game. It's so tempting for me to not even call it a mod. That's how good this mod is that it's more comparable to Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 than it is to other mods that I've played. Because it is feature complete, and I've had more fun playing this mod than I did with Fallout 76, although again, that is a low bar. But this feels like more of a Fallout game than some of the official Fallout offerings we've been given.
I'm slightly confused as to why they put like weapon modding and like crafting into it when it didn't really seem like there was anywhere to craft stuff or to like build a base.
Very few bases, yes.
Which is fine because like that's like my least favorite part of Fallout 4. I know everyone really likes the base building and the crafting. I know everyone really likes that. I don't like it. I basically, when I played Fallout 4, I used that as a means to an end of to make my weapon better. That's basically it. That's all I really use the crafting for is this is a place where I can store all my shit so that I can make it better. And it is slightly frustrating that it's like, oh yeah, there's like 4 ranks of the armor, or there's like the four ranks of the gunsmith and 4 ranks of armor and 4 ranks of this thing. But then why are you even giving that to me as an option when I can't really craft anything?
Yeah. Again, that's more of a criticism for Fallout 4 that just by its design carries over into Fallout London.
Yeah.
This game plays more like, I would say, Fallout 3 than Fallout 4 or Fallout New Vegas. This feels like it could be its own survival game, and if the survival mode in Fallout 4 were a bit better, I would encourage people to play this through the survival mode. But again, Fallout 4 survival mode isn't super great. But this world is so big, and there are so many, hundreds and hundreds of like small little places you could check out that might have a couple of little interesting or unique things in there. The quests aren't going to send you to those locations. It's just fun things for you to find just by virtue of exploring. Like I was playing a bit of this game in my spare time in between recording sessions, and I wanted to make sure we weren't missing any quests. And yeah, by and large, we weren't missing very many quests. But there were so many other locations that I could just kind of poke around, check out, try and find some upgradable loot, try and find some healing supplies.
But I don't like survival games.
Right. And I'd like it more if Fallout 4 survival mode were better, again. But there are elements in this mod that would make it really great for a survival style playthrough.
I don't know how much of this gets put on the mod or how much of it should get put on Fallout 4 in and of itself. I don't like how the enemies are just bullet sponges. It doesn't matter what difficulty you're playing on. Enemies are always just bullet sponges, which is very frustrating for me.
Yeah. There are a lot of enemies, and a lot of them can be very tanky. I mean, that was one of the problems with this mod when it first came out. Like, well, the small foxes that you would find.
Oh, they were brutal. Area. They were brutal. They had to nerf them like what, 2 times?
I don't remember exactly, but yeah, they were bugged, so they were incredibly powerful.
They were just like the fucking dog in Elden Ring that when it bit you like 300 times per second. So it would just one-shot you every single time it bit you.
Yeah, the foxes were brutal.
Another small nitpick I have with the game is I wish the random unnamed NPCs had more dialogue lines. Failing that, they didn't all have the exact same death rattle.
They're all screaming. We heard that Rule Britannia so many times.
I heard that a lot, and I heard just every faction has like 2 death lines. And everyone repeats those two death lines. Mm-hmm. You need to just have them go, ugh!
Yeah.
Or something. Just record like 20 different versions of someone going, ah! And dying.
Yes. I wish the NPCs had more things to say other than, my mother wanted me to be a farmer.
Yeah, you get really tired of hearing that. You get really tired of... Every faction has their own 2 or 3 lines.
Yeah, they need a few more barks, yeah.
Yeah. I want to meet the queen. Like... I know you do. I understand. I get it.
I could shoot you in the head and say, now you get to, but we've done that joke 10 times already. I think it's easier for us to criticize other mods because the experiences have more flaws, but this is just good. If you like Fallout, you'll probably like this.
It's enjoyable. I think it'll be more impactful to you personally if you live in London or if you live in Britain. Mm-hmm. I think you will find it more impactful because I've never been there, so I don't know what I'm looking at.
Right. In the same way that exploring the Capitol Monument back in Fallout 3 was amazing for us back in the day. Hopefully people that live in London get some enjoyment out of exploring Parliament. I do worry that maybe I come off a bit too harsh when I criticize this because it is hard to communicate. It's just good. There's just so much good stuff. Like there's the Trown Pistol. That was fun. We had a whole fun time with that. There were all these fun people to meet and fun places to go and cool things to see. The lava pit, even if it didn't make as much sense, was fun. The neon underground nightclub was fun. There's so much fun stuff. We've got some nitpicks, but overall it was a fun experience.
I mean, they put a working subway.
Yeah, the monorail system was really cool.
Well, monorail's on one rail. That's like that's a metro, which is on like 2. Usually monorails are like whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they had a functioning underground tram system. It was incredible. And there are so many little things, so many small like little bits of joy. Like I was doing some playtesting, and I said, all right, now I'll let Zach do the same thing, and then you would took a different path, and you found like an Easter egg, or you found an unmarked quest. There's just a lot of stuff just kind of tucked away in a little nooks and crannies here and there for you to find. Again, this is trying to reward exploration, and I think it does a great job with that regard.
Yeah, I guess I don't really have anything else to necessarily say about it.
I don't think I do either. I kind of feel like that's all that there is to say. It's good. It's fine. Enjoy it. Enjoy this rare time where you can play through a new Fallout game in the Fallout style, because we haven't had that since, 2016 was when Fallout 4 came out?
Yeah.
So there we go. This is like the only Fallout game that's been released since then. That feels like a Fallout game. Might be the only Fallout game we get for a while, too.
I'm a grumpy bitch. I like complaining about things. It makes me feel nice and warm and fuzzy inside to bitch about how much something sucks. Mm-hmm. Like, it gives me this sense of, like,
conquering your enemies.
No, it just gives me a sense of like righteous anger and justified hatred when something fucking sucks, and then I can just complain about how much it sucks.
Other people like to share in your righteous indignation.
And I guess I don't really have anything to say about...
The writing's not bad. The quest design...
And it's literally free, so like...
Yeah, it's a free game / mod, and yeah, it's available now as long as you got a copy of Fallout 4. If you install it on Steam, you might have to go through some nonsense to downgrade your copy of the game.
Oh, yeah, because it's got, like, weird updates.
We just repurchased it again on GOG and played it through GOG.
Yeah. It actually made me happy to play a Fallout game that didn't have the Brotherhood of Steel and the NCR.
Or Super Mutants.
And Super Mutants and Vault Tech. It actually made me happy to not see any of that.
Oh, yeah. It's underrated aspect. Game. Yeah, it's good.
It actually made me happy to not see any of that stuff, because like, dude, I've said it before, I will say it again, I am bored to tears of seeing that shit. Mm-hmm. I don't care. Like, why is the Brotherhood of Steel on the East Coast of the United States? And I know that they were in Chicago, and I know that blah, blah, blah. Oh wait, no, that's the Enclave that was in Chicago. The Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah, it's just
The lore for the Fallout games is kind of all over the place, and they keep on reusing the same tropes even when it doesn't make sense, the same factions, and this is a breath of fresh air.
it's nice to see new stuff and not the same recycled things over and over again. I really enjoyed that about this mod. 3 factions that I've already seen. I think it's really funny they put Alistair Tenpenny in it.
Yeah.
That completely caught me by surprise, and I thought it was really funny, actually.
Again, Easter eggs and references all over the place. I think they had some fun ideas for companions. We had some fun with Kira and Mountbatten, and there were a few others that we didn't even get to meet. I do feel like they were still limited by Fallout 4's inherent engine limitations. They're not very involved characters. You can't carry on a prolonged conversation with them. I think some of them do have their own personal quests, but we didn't spend enough time with any of them to get a quest from them.
I don't think I ever got above 30 affinity with Mountbatten, who was the only one that we really kept around for long enough.
And he may have had something to say for a quest later on, but it was tough to keep traveling with him because he kept on saying the same barks over and over again. He said it a lot. I like talkative companions, but it was a bit much. It was talkative in a way that he kept interrupting our conversations and kept on piping up during combat, saying the same lines, but you try to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with him, and he's very vapid. And again, I think that's just a limitation of the engine.
All right, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Anything else? No, that's kind of it, yeah. It's just a very impressive mod. I had a good time with it. You had a good time with it. And really, that's a mark of quality.
Also, I hate the bells in the intro of this song.
Not a fan.
Dude, I hate it. I hate bells. I don't like... Stop putting bells in music. Stop it. Stop it.
Futurama's the only one that did it right.
Yeah, no, that's the only one. Futurama is the only one that is acceptable to have bells in there. Anything else, you are not allowed to put bells in it. I don't want to hear them. They're dumb and they sound stupid.